Hi there, I'm Kathleen Nightingale, and welcome to the Narc Free Fireside Chat. And I thought I'd pop in tonight and say hello and talk about a little bit different topic. And this is something that we kind of figure out over time after processing, after going through the experience. And it's the number one thing that we actually learn from the narcissist. Now, one of the positive things, if you want to call it that, is we can see the narcissist as an agent of change. And an agent of change is someone who comes into our life who is maybe causing problems for us and pressing our buttons and causing us to really make changes in our life. It can be very painful at times, but that's the agent of change. And learned that from my fabulous friend and mentor, Joanna Hunter. So we have the agent of change known as a narcissist who comes in and they kind of they press our buttons, right? They sniff out the insecurities, but first they like to do the love bombing and they like to really idealize. So they idealize in somebody who's relatively confident, could be feeling even more pumped up and awesome about themselves because of all that idealization. And then it's time for the put downs, it's time for the temper tantrums, it's the devaluing stage. And it's devalue like a doormat until finally you're at the bottom, and then the discard happens, then you're left going, what was that all about, Alfie, right? So I've often said it's kind of like being shoved into a dark pit, feeling exhausted and having to crawl out on your own. And then after you spend time kind of licking your wounds and figuring out what it was all about, the aha moment can really hit that says, you know what, I didn't value myself enough. I didn't value myself enough because I allowed this person to manipulate and I allowed this person to bring me down. And, maybe we lost some value in ourselves, of course, after being devalued. Okay, so we're being devalued, we're brought down. And I hear women who are in the relationship saying, well, I have to stay for the kids or whatever reason, and I'm not going to let this person get to me, right? I'll just ignore it. I'll do other things. I'll whistle and look the other way. But I don't care how much you try to do that. It's still going to hit you. You're still going to feel it because you're still hearing it and you're still living through the behavior. So your value in yourself is going to continue to go down. And by the time you get out of it, your value could be really at an all-time low. So we learn that we have to value ourselves again. And maybe even more so than we did before. This is a life lesson that can teach us to be stronger and more resilient and to certainly value ourselves and to not put up with this behavior ever again, because now we know the process and how it works. So the lesson is you've got to value yourself again after all that devaluing. And again, it can really open some insecurities from the past. It could open up something around, for example, fear of abandonment because of being discarded, and all sorts of other ways that the narcissist can find those insecurities. They seem to like to do that because then they can manipulate and they can use that and, in various ways that the average person can't even fathom, because it just doesn't even, our mind doesn't even work that way. We're not thinking in a manipulative way, but they certainly are. So afterwards, you got to get your value back, and hopefully better than ever. And so if you're struggling in that area, I do invite you to join my group Wise and Free. I have the at Wise and Free there in the video. And, it's time to boost yourself back up. Get your value up again. And there's so many ways in which, if you really look at your life post-narcissist and do the sort of post-mortem on that relationship, you'll see how you're not valuing yourself. If you really take a look at things from day to day, even the littlest things, there can be ways that you're not valuing yourself at all. You're not serving yourself. You're not treating yourself with loving kindness, certainly. And that's what you need to start doing to pick up the pieces and get your confidence back again. So, thank you for tuning in. And again, take a deep breath, pull yourself together, put your lipstick on, as Elizabeth Taylor would say. And it's time to feel good about yourself and treat yourself with the value that you deserve in every way, shape, or form. Get a pedicure, get a facial, do your nails, whatever it is you got to do to feel better about yourself, because it's time to raise the bar and bring your value up to where it should be again. And it will get better. There's light at the end of the tunnel. So I'll see you in Wise and Free. Thanks for joining me, and have an awesome rest of the day.